beautiful harvest day. Is that how you said it, Roger? That's what Jim would have said. Today is a beautiful harvest day. It's a beautiful day to place him into the ground and his final resting place. It's a beautiful day to enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the company, as some of you haven't seen each other for many years. I'm Gail Murrell. I'm with Father and Hal McDougall Watrous Funeral Home, and I welcome you here today for this service. I'm going to start off with the obituary of Jim. Okay. So Jim was born July 23rd, 1927 in Watrous, Saskatchewan. Jim was the youngest of his family. He was deceased by his parents, John A. Davidson and Lucy Davidson. Brothers Alexander Davidson, Arthur Davidson, Douglas Davidson, sisters Mary Davidson, Helen Harris, Jessie Whitmore, Marjorie McCurry, Jean McPherson, and brother-in-law William Harris, Tom Whitmore, Charles McCurry, and Gordon McPherson. Survived by sister-in-law Louise Davidson, Mina Lorraine, Rosal Davidson, the latter wife of 7 years. James is survived by his loving family, daughters Kathy Ellen McEwen, the children Keith, Jamie, and Rhonda, Cynthia Lynn, and husband Kevin McEwen, children Christopher, Grant, and Brittany, Roger James, his wife Denise Davidson, children Sarah Davidson and Luke Davidson, and his 6 great-grandchildren. Jim was raised on the family farm, but before he started his farming career, he went to Tech in Saskatoon in 1951 and took a carpentry drafting course. The knowledge he gained there helped him in his many years ahead in building most, if not all, the buildings on the homes for his brothers and family members on the farm. Jim loved his place on the farm, working alongside his brothers Sandy and Doug. He enjoyed working with the livestock and seeing the benefits of his hard labor with the husbandry of the land and the many crops he tried. In his later years, his son Roger farmed with him, and that brought much joy to his heart. He eventually retired from farming due to health reasons and moved into Watrous with his wife, Elsie, where they continued to live until Elsie passed on December of 2013. His greatest memories of living in Watrous was working in his son Roger's business, where he met and visited so many of the people he knew who frequented the store. When his wife Elsie passed, he moved to Preston Park 2 in Saskatoon in February of 2014. There his love of people continued, and he was involved in his community and pool game tournaments, and with any other event that took place there. At one of these events is where Jim met his latter wife, Mina, and they developed a friendship and a relationship that led to their being married at Elkridge Resort on June 14th, 2017. Jim and Mina continued to live at Preston Park 2 until his passing at RUH on Friday, September the 13th, 2024. Jim loved life and his family so very much. I would want you all to celebrate this life with him today. Jim Davidson was a person loved and cherished in the lives of many. Jim's family thank you for attending and invite you to join them for lunch and a time of fellowship following the Graveside service. Next, I would like to invite Roger to come forward and
up a few things about Dad and Grandpa. Dear friends and family, it's hard to find the right words to say goodbye to a man sort of who epitomized love, kindness, and unwavering support. Our father, Jim, is such a man, a rock, a guide, and a comfort to us all. The past few days have been an emotional whirlwind, and while it's difficult to stand here today, I feel honored to share a glimpse into our father's remarkable life and the profound impact he had on me and everyone who knew him. One memory that captures the essence of our dad is one from my childhood. Anytime life got tough, Dad would always be there, a comforting soul, ready to guide us and help us understand that things would eventually work out.
Yep.
Despite being a hard worker, he never failed to find time for us. He would always have time to play games with us or read with us bedtime stories, no matter how tired or busy he was. Through his actions, he taught us the importance of kindness and caring for all things we came into contact with. Sure.
Dad had a profound love of music and dancing, passions that he shared with us as children and grandchildren as we danced around the house all the time. He instilled in us the values of acceptance, understanding, and he always said, if you can't say something nice about a person, don't say anything at all. These words have stuck with us and shaped how we navigate in life. They remind us to always see the good in others. Our father and grandfather cherished his family deeply. He took care of his mother until she passed away and stayed by our mom, his first wife, until she passed 11 years ago. His selfishness had no bounds. He put others before himself constantly. Even in his final days, Dad was more worried about us, his children and his grandchildren, than about his own discomfort. He just wanted to make sure we were okay. No words can truly capture how genuine our father was. Dad loved life and made everyone around him life too, simply because of his optimistic outlook. I will always remember him visiting my business and speaking warmly with people who came in. He worked alongside me for 12 years, farming together and running a business. He often remarked that those were the best years of his life, enjoying company of people and sharing quality time as father and son, and buying up all Roger's records.
I got the rest. Did you want to read some? Okay. Dad was also an exceptional carpenter, meticulous in his craft. He built many things, both large and small, and it bothered him greatly if something wasn't perfect. His hands could turn raw wood into beauty, and his skills were indeed a testament to his patience and dedication. My fondest memories, as is my sister's here, revolve around moments spent working with our father. Out on the fence line in the pasture, during our coffee breaks with fresh baking that Mum would send us, or the meals shared in the field during harvest time, just like today. The food always tasted better with Dad beside us in those wide open prairie fields. Those moments encapsulated a simpler but profoundly fulfilling chapter of our lives together. Sorry. What we will miss about Dad is his voice and his comforting words of advice. We will miss his laugh when we watched Abbott and Costello or Carol Burnett show together. His laugh was infectious. It was filling our home with warmth and joy. Reflecting on my father's life, I believe his greatest achievement was a profound love and care he extended not just to us, but to everyone around him. He always lent a hand to neighbors in need, loved woodworking, and was an avid dancer and music lover. But above all, he was a gentleman and a loving caregiver. There's one verse that I think perfectly sums up my dad's personality in 1 Corinthians 13:7. It says, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. His love will never fail us, and it will continue to guide us through life. Our father faced some of the toughest jobs and situations in life with dignity and honor. His resilience and integrity were simply unmatched. And as we gather here to remember him, let us chant his little sayings and ditties that he had, those nuggets of wisdom that connected us with the other generations that you see here today. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. And don't worry about the thunder in the heavens, it's just barrels falling over up there. Dad, we will miss you more than words can say.
We will, but we can.
but we celebrate the life you lived and the legacy of love you leave behind. Thank you for everything. Rest in peace, my loved mother. Your love will never fail us. Thank you.
It was tough.
At this time, I'd like to ask if there's anybody else that would like to say anything. A memory, a funny story. I hear he had quite the sense of humor and everything. So if there's any stories or anything you'd like to share right now, please come forward.
I just have one.
Sure, come on up.
Well, I'm just gonna say, we were laughing because they farmed together, Doug and Sandy and Dad. Uncle Doug was the go-getter. My dad would just go along with whatever to make it comfortable. And Uncle Sandy, he was just an easygoing guy. So my dad used to say, Uncle Sandy, you're as slow as molasses, January running uphill. That's about the only unkind thing he ever said.
But he said it tactfully.
Yes, he did.
Anybody else? And as you think of stuff like at the fellowship this afternoon, do share it with the other family members and stuff, because that's what keeps the memories alive and the smiles happening. Okay, and I think Jim would have liked that. I've got a poem that Roger and Cynthia had picked out. It's called Our Father's Garden. Our father kept a garden of the heart. He planted all the good things that gave our lives their start. He turned us to the sunshine and encouraged us to dream, fostering and nurturing the seeds of self-esteem. And when the winds and rain came, he protected us enough, but not too much, because he knew we would stand up strong and tough. His constant good example always taught us right from wrong, markers of our pathway that will last a lifetime long. We are our Father's garden. We are his legacy. Please keep on those traditions and everything that he brought you up with. And remember with fond memories. At this time, I would like to give you an opportunity to come up, touch the urn, say your goodbyes before we will be placing him into his grave after everybody has gone. So just as you head to the car, take a moment, say goodbye, and thank you.
I love you, Grandpa. All those times you used to play with me when I was a kid, when we were still at Grandma's. I'll never forget those playful moments. Even those times you wanted me to spin on the chair until I got dizzy and sick. I love you forever and more, and I hope you can meet Grandma now that you're gone.
Now goodbye, Dad. Thank you for supporting me through the years and taking care of me through all my tough times. And I always forgive, love, and sympathy for everything that you have to my children. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Pop. Stay out of trouble, will you? See you, Grandpa. He lives on through all of us, even if you're just him. Hi, Grandpa.
That was your great grandfather. That was his grandfather. Oh.
I'm already sick. It's nice too. And still feels like home knowing we've been there for quite a while too, so we quite enjoy it. Quite enjoy it. Sorry. But